All right, guys, I think yesterday we finished worksheet 3, so we're just going to work on 4 today. You also need out the conic reference sheet, your calculator, and any homework questions. I'll save homework questions for the end today, but it'd be great if you had some. This is a site we went to the other day, but I just want to again discuss that the value, as long as we have the vertex and the focus and the directrix lined up, the distance from the focus to the vertex and is equal to the distance from the vertex to the directrix, and those distances are p, as in 4p that goes in the equation. Because I think out of all of the conics, this is the one that it's so much easier if you use the concept rather than all the recipes on the paper. Is that making sense? Those of us who were here yesterday discussed that it's so much easier if you just understand P is whatever this distance is or whatever this distance is. Then one more thing, the focus, the closer it is to the vertex, what happens to the parabola? It gets very narrow, okay? And the further it is away, the wider or flatter out the parabola gets. Okay? Those are the only two things I wanted to revisit with that. Eventually, we need to be able to write an equation, graph, all that good stuff. But the big thing today is we're going to talk about completing the square with parabolas. And for some reason, this one really confuses students. All right, everybody have their reference sheet out? And we remember that the x being squared makes it open up or down. The y being squared makes it open sideways. All that good stuff. All right. So this one is real quick review. Somebody tell me something. Oh, yes, H is 1, K is 2, so the vertex is at 1, 2. Nicely done, Martin. Anybody else? P is 2. Which way does this open, guys? It has an x squared, so it opens either up or down, and P is positive, so it opens up. If it opens up and this is the vertex, can you tell me real fast where everything else is? Oh, you guys are even got the ordered pair. Yes, 2 units up is the focus. So the focus is at 1, 4. The directrix, yes, what's the equation though? Y equals, good, because it's going across. I'm sorry, I'm checking. Brandon Boyle and Adriana. These are yours. Please take them or I will forget. The hardest part for most students is finding another ordered pair to graph it accurately. Okay? We want, yes, because the x is squared, we want to put in an x value. Anybody see or think about anything that would work out nicely? Because 0 is only 1 unit. Oh, yeah, x is 0 is only 1 unit away. That's probably not going to give us much to work with. 4 would be okay. 5 might be even better. Does anybody see why 5 is nice? I'm just thinking ahead because 5 minus 1 is 4. Squared is going to be divisible by 8. So if you get decimal, it's no big deal. I'm going to do 5 just because I noticed it's going to come out nice. And remember, you put it in for the x, so it's going to be 5 comma something after we figure out this. So this would be 4 squared is 16. Then I'm going to divide by the 8 just to save some time. And I get 4. Did anybody else get 5, 4, or did I? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that was actually 4 units over and up to from the vertex. So with some symmetry, I can put a point over here as well. Now, if you get it, oh, whoa, that was not good. Oh, well, I'll go with it. If you get a decimal, it's fine. Just graph it roughly. We're just trying to find what the shape is. And I'm not going to be super accurate, but if you have no points and no work showing that you found a point, then you're just guessing, and that's not going to get you full credit. All right, number 2, there is a problem. It's not in the right form, but it's actually really easy to get it in the right form. Does anybody see why? What is that? Yeah, if we factored that, it's y plus 3 times y plus 3. Does everybody see that? So it actually is y plus 3 squared. And what about over here, though? We can take out a 12. What's still kind of wrong, though? This is supposed to be x minus h. So if we take out a negative 12, I think we'll be in better shape. Yep. Because then we'll have a negative 1 and a positive x, or x minus 1. Now, I will show you on the next problem, or the next couple problems, how to complete the square. And you could have definitely done this problem by completing the square, and you would have gotten the same answer. It's just that it's already kind of set up for that, so we're just going to go with this. All right, I'm writing y minus k equals 4p x minus h. So tell me something. H is, k is, so the vertex is at 1, negative 3. 4p is equal to negative 12, so p is negative 3. If the y is squared and the p is less than 0, yes, opens this way. Good call. All right, so if I plot the vertex at 1 to the right and down 3, please stop me if I make a silly mistake today, or any mistake. That was supposed to be a parabola. It looks like a disaster. Opens left, so p is 3, so I can just go 3 units this way to find the focus, and 3 units back this, 1, 2, 3, to find the directrix. Anybody tell me anything about those? Okay, and we could have used the recipes, right? If we knew it was opening left, the focus would have been at h plus p comma k, which would have been 1 plus negative 3 or negative 2 comma negative 3. And the directrix was at h minus p, which would have been 1 minus negative 3 or positive 4. All right. What do we need to put in for this, an x or a y, to find an ordered pair? We need to put in a y. So I'm going to put in a y value back here to find an ordered pair. Somebody pick something. The y equals 0 would be 3 units away if you wanted to do 0. You want to do 1? Y equals 1. So if I put a 1 in for y, it'll say 1 plus 3 squared equals 12, 1 minus x. This would be 4 squared would be 16. Oh, I put it in a weird place, didn't I? Sorry. I should put it in this one probably. Negative 12 x minus 1. It wouldn't matter, but... So 16 over negative 12, and then I need to add 1 over to that side. Oh, that's a minus. I'm struggling here, guys. 16 divided by negative 12 plus 1. Anybody get negative 0.3? Okay, so if we were to go to the left just a tiny bit and then up 1, we'd hit a point. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 units back to the axis of symmetry, which would be going this way. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4 units down here. Okay, I didn't do too bad. I'll take credit for that one. We good? All right. I don't think I'm going to fit it on this slide. Let me put in an extra slide. When you complete the square for parabolas, okay? You might want to make a note of this somewhere. You want all the squared, you want to put x's and y's on opposite side. And you want to move the constants all to the side with the not squared. All right, and then you'll be able to complete the square. Anybody got whatever they want written down from that disaster? I can come back to this slide if you want me to after we do one. All right, so in this, the x's are here, here's a y, and here's the constant term. I want to move the 8y over with the constant term, so it'll be a negative 8y. We have a negative 34, and we're going to need a blank on both sides. What's happening next, though? This is a weird one. I think when I did it on my paper, I took the 2 out of everything right away. You want to factor the 2 out, or you want to divide it out of everything? Sure. We can just divide everything by 2. So we have negative 4y minus 17 plus blank equals x squared plus 10x plus blank. Okay, then we need to complete the square on this side. What is this going to become? X plus 5 squared equals 25. Why am I not doing anything like that on this side? There's no squared. But if I added a 25 over here, I have to add a 25 over here. So now I have negative 4y times, or sorry, no times, negative 4y plus 8. So what do I still need to do over here to get in the form we're used to? Yeah, take out a negative 4. Can I switch sides, guys, as I do that? So I have an x plus 5 squared equals negative 4 times the quantity. Be careful, if I take a negative 4 out, I'll have what? Y minus 2. Is that how we're used to? With the squared on one side, right? It now matches x minus h squared equals, if you need to go get a drink, honey, go right ahead. Okay. Did you follow what we did? Do you need me to go back to that slide so you can make yourself a little notes or not? Okay, you want the squareds all by, and like this was an x squared, so the x squared and the other x were on one side and everything else was on the other side. All right. So help me graph this and everything. H is, K is positive 2, yeah, negative 5, 2. And P is negative 1, okay, because it's an x squared with a P less than 0, it's opening down. So over at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left and up 2. But P is negative 1. So this is the vertex, this is the focus, and this is the directrix. Everybody good? I just used the concepts, not the recipes, but so what is the, this was the vertex. The focus is at, and the directrix. Okay, could use the recipes to find those for sure. We need to put a point in. We don't have a whole lot of room to the left and right on this graph, so I'm thinking an x value like negative 2, because we can only go 3 each way and we run out of room, right? So if I go 3 this way, I'm at x equals negative 2. So if I go over here and I put in a negative 2, I'd have negative 2 plus 5 squared equals negative 4 y minus 2. This would be 3 squared is 9. Then I need to divide by negative 4. Negative 0.5 maybe? Negative 0.25? Negative 9 divided by 4 plus 2. I got negative 0.25. Anybody else getting that? So if I go left 2 from the origin, I just go down a tiny bit. So that was really 1, 2, 3, down 2.5 from the vertex. Narrower than the last couple, right? Because P was only 1. We doing all right? Okay. It's up to you. If we don't want to graph this one too, oh, this is writing an equation. There's not another completing the square? Oh, did I skip? Oh. I don't know how I skipped that. All right, let's go back and do 3. Sorry. What do you want to do on number 3 though? Okay, so x squared, if I'm going to move this over, I have to add it, right? So I'd have plus 6x plus a blank equals, I'm going to subtract 21 over here, right? We move that. So I'd have a negative 20y minus 89 plus a blank. I don't suppose I can move all this over. Maybe. Not very nicely, but I got it. Okay. Left side, complete the square. Anybody? Which means the blank is a, which very nicely makes the left a negative 20y minus 80. Why is that nice? Yeah, because I can take out a negative 20 and then I'll have y plus 4. Did I do it right, guys? All right, vertex. I suppose I should write that. I have been real good about that and I don't want to stop. underneath here, let's write x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. All right, so the vertex is at -3, -4. Anybody tell me what p is? Let's see, if we have an x squared and a p less than 0, it does open down again. -3 to the left and down 4 is the vertex, and then what? One, two, three, four, five. Is that the bottom of the page? -3, -9 is the focus. And up 5. Yeah, the directrix is up here. Okay. That was kind of a weird place to label those. Is that, oh, that's -3, negative, okay, I'm gonna rewrite that. All right, then the ickiness. Again, we don't have a lot of room to go out from this vertex. Can I just put in 0? Where across the y would be x equals 0. If I put in x equals 0, I'd have 3 squared equals -20 times y plus 4. 9 over -20 equals y plus 4. It's not going to be nice, but we can do it. -4.45, anybody? So it crosses down here at 1, 2, 3, 4, and not even a half. Which makes sense, right? It should be super flat because we had a really big, oh, should be rounded though, not looking like a V. But we had P was 5. I think that's about as big as P has ever been, isn't it? All right, there is a completing the square question on the quiz. We will practice it some more. Towards the end of the hour, I can do another one if you want me to. But we have a couple more writing equations. I think we're getting pretty good at these because we've talked about conceptually this is not that bad. If you have a vertex, you already have h and k. -2, +4 would be here. -2, +3 is the focus. What do you know right away? Directrix would be up here, right? Which way does this open? Okay, it opens down. I really don't want to spend any more time worrying about how accurate we graph it. I just want to come up with the equation. Can you tell me what P is already? Okay, almost. Yep, the distance is 1, but because it's opening down, we need a -1 p-value. Okay, that's a mess. Again, if you realized it opened down and you looked at your sheets, the focus is supposed to be at h comma k plus p, and we know that h is -2 and k is 4, and our focus is at -2, 3. So if you put 4 plus p equal to 3, you'd have p is -1. Would have solved that way as well. Then you go to the top and it just says x minus h, which is a +2. Yes, everybody with me here? Equals 4p, so what goes there? Okay, 4 times -1 would be -4, and then y minus k, which was a 4 as well. And I didn't make sure this was very accurate graphing because I'm just kind of tired of graphing. All right, number 8 was on the other page. I skipped over that one, we already did it. Do you have this number 6? Okay, these are tricky. Okay. If you know the focus and you know it opens right and it goes through this point, is everybody paying attention? Okay, the focus when it opens to the right, the definition for focus is H plus P comma K. So what is the one thing we for sure know? Yes, K is 1, right? It's the only thing we know for sure. We know H plus P equals what? 2? All right, if they give us this point, that's an X value and a Y value. Everybody good? So if I know it opens to the right, I have Y minus K squared equals 4P X minus H. Do I know a Y? I know -7. Do I know a K? I know K is 1. I don't know P. And I don't, oh, do I know an X? X is 8. H, do I know an H? No. But what if I don't want two variables? What could I do with this so that I can replace H with, I already have a P here. So this could say H is really what? Everybody good? H is 2 minus P. So now I'm going to go up here and say H is really 2 minus P, and I'm kind of out of room, but. All right, so left side becomes what? -7 minus 1 squared would be -8 squared, or positive 64. On the right, I have 4P times 8, but if I distribute that negative, it becomes -2 plus P. I'm showing all my steps here, I hope, so we don't get confused, but in the parenthesis, that becomes 6 plus P. I'll go ahead and show this, but if I distribute here, I get 24P plus 4P squared. What could I do to make my life easier? Yeah, divide everything by 4. So I have 16 equals 6P plus P squared. Okay, we're supposed to be good at quadratics by now. How do you deal with quadratics? You need a factor, which means it has to equal 0. So if I rearrange over here a little bit, I'd have a P squared and a 6P. I just flip-flop the order. And I'm subtracting the 16 over there, so it's a minus 16. I don't know why that's writing so badly, sorry. Factors P plus 8, P minus 2, does that work? Which makes what? P equals -8 or positive 2. Does anybody know why I can get rid of one of those? Way back at the beginning it says opens right. So what does that mean? Okay, P is 2. All right, that was kind of a disaster, but now if I know P is 2, can I go back in here? What's H? Oh, I think we're done. Were we supposed to write the equation, right? Here was the general equation right up here. So when we put all of our numbers in, we'll have y minus 1 squared equals 4p, which would be 8x minus h was 0. So if we graphed it, we'd have 0, 1 as the vertex, P is 2, and it's opening right, it said? So the focus would be over here, the directrix would be back here, and it would open to the right. And I'm not going to spend more time. Do you want me to try a point again, guys? I think on the quiz that would just, actually, I don't think there's one on the quiz quite this difficult, but if there was, you would just have to write the equation. And try the next one on your own, see how far you can get. Okay, when it opens down, oh, it is. If it opens down, I'm looking for x minus h squared equals 4p times y minus k. And the focus is at 1, 4, where the formula for focus when it opens down is h comma k plus p. So what do we know? H is 1. We also know k plus p is 4. And because it opens down, we know p is going to be negative when we get there. And we know because of this that we have an x that goes through -3 and a y that goes through 1. So what do we do next? Okay, go back up to the top. What are we going to put in for x? What are we going to put in for h? 4p we don't know. What are we going to put in for y? Was that a positive one before I scribbled on it? Okay. Minus k, but I don't really want to introduce another variable. So k could be replaced with a what? 4 minus p or negative p plus 4. But be careful, there's a minus in here. All right, so fiddle around with that algebraically and see if you can get it to a quadratic and solve it. Anybody get a p squared minus 3p and a minus 4? Okay. Or -1. I'll give you another minute. Are some of you still working on it? Did either of the Brandons get that, or Martin, you good? Adriana, is that what you got? Okay. So what did we decide ahead of time? P had to be negative, we said back up here, right? So P is -1. And then if I put that back in here for K, 4 minus -1, wouldn't that make K 5? So the equation, anybody, if we go back up to the top, whoops. Ugh, hates me. Would it be x minus, what was h, 1? 4p would be 20. No, k is 5, not p. P was, okay. P was -1, so 4 times negative y is -4, and then y minus 5. All right, so according to my equation, I'm not going to look at what I already had. My equation says 1, 5 is the vertex. Oh my goodness, this is counting by 2's again. And the focus is at 1, 4, so that would make P -1 because it's opening down. Is that what we had? Yay. Good enough. This is our answer. All right, I'm going to skip number 8. It is another one of those put in a point ones. 9 and 10 are real quick applications, and then I want to do one more completing this square, but I'm going to have to make one up, so it's probably going to be ugly. Suppose the receiver in a parabolic dish antenna is 2 feet away from the vertex. So what did we discuss when we talked about these in the applications? If this is the vertex and this is the receiver is also at the what? Focus. And it says it's 2 feet away. Okay, so that means P is 2. Everybody good with that concept? Assume the vertex is at the origin and the dish is pointed up. Clearly that's what I drew. Okay, just kidding. They want us to go this way. And this is 2 units up. Find an equation. Okay, where's the vertex? They said at the origin, so it would be x minus 0 squared equals y minus 0. And what are we supposed to put in? 4p, which would be 8. We could rearrange that, but it's good enough for me. Number 10. The entrance to a college campus has a parabolic arch above 2 columns as shown. Write an equation that models this. So if this is the vertex right up here and the focus is here, what's this distance? Is P. So let's try this. If we pretend this is at the origin, and this is 10 and it's opening down, we'd have x minus 0 squared equals 4p would be 40. Uh-oh, but it's opening down. Yep, should be negative. And then y minus 0 there. Now, if we wanted to really check, it's supposed to be 40 across here all the way. So if we went 20 to the right of the vertex, which would be, oh, they put 20 all the way out here. Oh, lovely. They're counting by y's one way and x, or by 2's one way and, or 5's one way. I don't even know. Are they counting by 5's both ways? Anyway, yeah, if we put in a 5, no, if we put in a 20 off to the right, this would be 20 minus 0 squared. I don't even know. I'm just moving on. I'm going, it's good. We okay? All right, so this is the assignment. The next summative covers parabolas, hyperbolas, which we're going to learn Monday and Tuesday. It's also going to have 5.5 retake and 5.3 retake. 5.3b, sorry. All right, let me tell you what it looks like on the quiz for completing the square question. I'm gonna make something up that's awful, okay? There. Help me complete the square for that. And then put a plus blank. And what are you gonna have to do here? Take out a 2. Now what? This will be x plus 8 squared is 64. Be careful. Yeah, 64 times 2 is 128, which would make this y plus, I don't know, did I do that right? Okay, something's still wrong though. Yes, because the 4p is over here, usually. So if we divide both sides by 2, we'll end up with a 1/2 over there. So this is your x minus h, and this is your y minus k, and this is 4p is 1/2. What does that make p? Because this is like the exact number that's on the quiz. If you divide both sides, it's 4 times 2 would be 1/2? I don't think so. You have to take 1/4 of each side, right? To get p by itself, p is 1/8. It is very narrow, but it also means you have to find like -8, -38 would be the vertex. And the focus is only 1/8 of a point above that. And the directrix is 1/8 of a point below that. You can give me a fraction, you can give me a decimal, you can give me an improper fraction, you can give me a mixed number, I don't care. All right? When it's ugly like that, as long as it's equivalent, I'll be happy. I think I did that right. I hope I did that right. All right, so we will practice more completing the square, but it's definitely on the quiz.